I love pulling tarot cards and oracle cards, especially when there's something that I feel like I really need to look deep at, shadow work, especially. Um, because even though I can do journaling and I can do EFT and I can do all these other processes, I feel like if I use my pendulum and pick decks of cards and then I go through those cards and the way that I pick cards is I just shuffle them and whatever flies out, flies out. That's what I'm meant to have. That's what the reading entails and or the reading. Those are the cards for the reading. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. And and I just did one around money. So like sacred wealth and abundance blocks what's holding me back. And a lot of times if you aren't open and willing to really look deep, you're going to not get the depth of a reading that you really need. I read intuitively, but I also now also take that what I get, the cards that I get, the intuitive hits that I get from those cards, and I put it into Chat GPT, and it's interesting what I get because a lot of times it's so spot on. Yes, it has my intuitive um, reading as well. So it's taken from that and it's built on it. So this particular reading that I did was with three different decks and like almost nine different oracle decks. Each question had its own tarot deck and oracle cards. And I don't normally do that kind of a reading. I usually just use one deck and ask a couple questions and then, go from ask one question most of the time. But this time I felt that I really needed to go deep into what's been holding me back. And the things that I got, it usually works this way. Things that I knew, I just didn't want to admit to myself. And the main one is that growing up, I needed to be the one that I held everybody together. I'm the one who was, the calm one, the good girl, the perfect kid, never got into trouble and, did what I needed to do to just kind of keep the peace. And what I got from the reading was that that's not the type of relationship that money wants to have with me. It wants to have the real me, the authentic me, the one who, is not always emotionally perfect and never breaks down and, has moments of stress and just being more real, being more the the truth of who I really am. And it's just amazing to me that these kind of things are revealed. The role that I'm playing right now in trying to be perfect with everything and making sure that all the posts that I put up have the right, cover and all that kind of stuff and just not posting if I'm feeling like things are not going to turn out perfectly or, trying to create content that, to who the hell if anybody sees it. And that's not being my truth. That's not being me. That's being what I think everybody else wants to see, which is kind of ironic because I always consider myself someone who doesn't give a shit what people think. And honestly, to some degree, I still must be concerned with people thinking that I've got to be the strong one. I'm the one who supports everyone else. I'm the one who, you know, not necessarily financially, that's the thing, is it's not financial support, it's emotional support. So I've given up my financial support to emotionally support everyone. And that's holding me back from my true abundance and my full potential and capacity. I've been keeping myself small because I thought that was the right thing to do. I felt that it was the right thing to do. And it's interesting how, the cards that I pull are ones that, like, say my nervous system still holds on to that idea that if I let go and I get angry, or I, show those release those emotions that are not, the good girl emotions, that, there's that potential danger. And so my current pattern is this pattern of over carrying, and, that emotional baggage that I carry for everyone else, not for myself. I carry it for everyone else. If somebody's got a bad day, they call me and they vent on me, and not take it out on me, but release onto me, when then I'm the one who's carrying all this bullshit that I don't need to carry. And so the cards were like, well, no, you need to let go of this. You need to be okay with knowing that that is not what spirit wants. That is not what my soul wants. That is not what money is asking of me. Money wants my authenticity. Money wants my truth. It wants me, whatever that me may be. If I have an emotional breakdown, that's perfectly fine. I don't always have to be on top of my emotions, and on top, and I'm not, me personally, when I'm by myself, I'm not an emotional person. I'm not like overly, dramatic and all that kind of stuff. I pick up and amplify the emotions of everyone around me. Thank God right now it's only Roy, and he doesn't like freak out every time. He does, things don't go his way. So he's not somebody that's like a roller coaster, which I've had in the past growing up, and, you know, being married with kids who are, you've got kids who have, like, they're emotional. That's just the way they are. They need to learn how to regulate their emotions, and know what's safe and what's not. And if I'm the one who's carrying all that, because I'm like, okay, I need to know that, keep, don't rock the boat kind of thing. So I love that I've pulled these cards and I've gotten something that actually opens my eyes to what I really need to do. So I'm posting videos that are not fully edited, that are not going to be pretty or whatever, eh, but they're going to be truth. And I honestly, I think a lot more people want that and need that. I know I do. I'm so tired of all the fake bullshit that's on social media, that's on TV, the fake news. I'm over it. So I'm going to start to be the change that I want to see, and start posting more honest to God, real, and not all my videos have been that way to some degree, because that an underlying theme has me wanting to be perfect in how I present myself, because I just, obviously, to some degree, I felt like, okay, I needed to be doing the things in a particular way or nothing happens. And instead of allowing money to flow to me, I'm grasping at it, because that's what I'm feeling like I need to do. If I'm not emotionally strong, then I push it away and it doesn't work. But that's not it. That's not the truth. That's not what really happens. Money is energy. And if it's being repelled because my energy is pushing it away, well, then I need to change that up. So I appreciate when cards like this, cards come up and they're like, okay, look, this is what you really need to do. Not kind of tiptoe around the issue, but get straight to the point. And it's funny because a lot of times I get cards and it's like a kick in the ass. Seriously, a kick in the ass. Like, look, you need to get your head out of your ass. You need to start doing what you need to do. and stop holding on to shit in the past that doesn't benefit you anymore. And I love those types of readings. I really do, because I think if I can't, it's so funny because as a projector, I have a hard time figuring out what I need to do. I can see what everybody else needs to do. I can give you all kinds of suggestions on things to improve your life and different processes you can use. But when it comes to me, I'm like blind. So that's one of the main reasons why I do tarot readings, is because I can see, I can only ask so many yes, no questions with my pendulum before I'm like, okay, I don't even know what to ask. But when I read the cards and I see something in the cards that pops out at me and I'm like, oh, that again. I'm like, holy shit. I thought I worked through this like years ago. What the fuck happened? I didn't get it done. So anyway, um, just wanted to share that with you. Later.